this team is going to fall flat on their ass. And we're going to hear in the next, I would predict, about 3 weeks that somebody is going to want his ass out of there. And that is Kevin Durant. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving it 3 weeks. And Kevin Durant is going to be crying on social media, his 7 Twitter accounts, and he's going to go out there and he is going to throw the Suns organization under the bus. This organization has been an absolute debacle. They are the Nets in the Western Conference. They have made too many deals. This team was one of the best teams in the NBA. What was it? 4 years ago, with Chris Paul and all the talent that they had, they traded Mikal Bridges for Kevin friggin' Durant. Mikal Bridges right now, look what he's doing for the New York Knicks. I mean, it's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. Now, I'm not taking away what Kevin Durant is and what he's been as a player. He's a great player. He still is. But he is a cancer. He has not won a championship since the Golden State Warriors. He had to play with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green in the primes of their career. To me, he is a cancer. And there's a lot of these guys. Kyrie Irving, when he played over there, James Harden, those are 3 cancers playing on one team. I feel bad for Devin Booker. I really do. Because Devin Booker is a great player, and he's never going to win a championship over there in the Suns. This is New York Knicks-esque, what the Suns are really transitioned into. The Knicks have found a way because they brought in a guy that was an agent, and every Knick fan was crying and doing all this stuff. This guy's going to suck. He has done nothing but wonders for the New York Knicks. I think right now the Suns need to rebuild. I think they need to trade away Devin Booker. He is the biggest and the most important player to that organization. They need to rebuild. You can get a significant overload for a guy like Devin Booker. You're talking about 5 to 6 first-round draft. If the Knicks can get Mikal Bridges for 5 first-round draft picks, you're going to get top-end draft picks, a.k.a. OKC. OKC, listen to me. Go after Devin Booker. That is a championship already. That's a mailing point right there. That's a present. Go after Devin Booker. I think the Suns need to rebuild. It's over for them. They should have never traded away the pieces that they did.
No, and then you look at the Suns, the way they built, too. They built a lot with a lot of these middle-round picks that ended up hitting, including Devin Booker. Devin Booker was a bench player at Kentucky and ended up getting drafted 13th overall, becomes a star. And then besides DeAndre Ayton, look at the rest of the core that they built on that team that went to the finals was pretty much all homegrown with these middle-round picks. Mikal Bridges, middle-round pick. Cam Johnson, that was a first-round pick the next year, fell in the draft to number 11. And then they traded all that depth away to try to take in an outdated concept of these big threes that in today's era, besides the Lakers, in today's era of basketball has not worked. It's now where you want to build with 2 players and like 2 stars, and then you have good depth around you and balanced depth around you. The Suns don't have size now outside Durant, who's an older player, so he's not going to defend at the same level anymore. They don't have a pure point guard, so they're playing all this isolation basketball. Mike Budenholzer goes over there. They're better than they were last year, I suppose, but how much better? And they're an obvious identity now. It's an outdated concept to try to get all these older players together. And you mentioned all these players whining. It's a lot of that generation that's whining, the Kevin Durant, LeBron generation that's whining. And then you have 2 of those on the same team with LeBron or with Durant and Bradley Beal. So it's a combination that was doomed to fail. I gave it one more chance last year because of the scoring problem.
I never gave it a chance.
Not to win a championship, because I thought they would win the year before. I picked them to win the year before when Denver won. I thought they would redeem themselves after losing in the playoffs with a 67-win team. But once they traded for Beal, there's no way this is a championship team. There's no defense and there's no size on this team and there's 0 depth.
Yeah, no depth, no size, and you just Booker signed the extension in 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so next year he's going to be owed $53 million. I think he's making almost 50 this year.
Well worth it, by the way. He's a great player.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
Playoff player too.
Yeah, and he's proven it, but also at this point, is this, and like we've talked about with certain things in other sports, is this one leg out the door to get me the hell out of here type of thing? To where it's okay, well, strike while the match is hot and I can get a lot for me. Where I might as well open the car door and get myself out. And it, when you're replacing 2 guys like that, and this obviously according to Chris Haynes, who's a longtime reporter, and you're replacing them with Ryan Dunn and Mason Plumlee. and it's like now that creates tension in the locker room. And when you lose a locker room, we have all seen what happens. So I think this is just one of those things where I don't think they've put enough into it where Devin Booker feels like they're going to win. So he's like, get me out of here. Somebody will take that contract 100%. And it wouldn't be hard to do, yeah, but you're going to get a lot in return.
Mhm.
So, and yeah, and the Suns have been trying to do anything. You see what the owner did. He lowered all the prices to $2 for everything in the concession stand to try to get people in the stands and get all those things. And we've all heard Chuck talk about how terrible the concessions are for the Suns. But I just think I think that the foot's out the door, but we've also talked about it as well. Like, who's to blame in this aspect? Yeah, you lose 7 of 8, right? It happens. But who's the blame going to be put on? And
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. 100%. 100%.
And that's fine. But also at the same time, it's like, well, if this ain't going to be it, then get me out of here because it ain't working.